Here's a detailed narrative on Gary Ridgway, the Green River Killer, covering his crimes, investigation, and capture. The Green River Killer, America's most prolific murderer. Gary Ridgway, infamously known as the Green River Killer, is one of America's most notorious serial killers. His killing spree spanned nearly 2 decades, during which he murdered at least 49 confirmed victims, though he later claimed to have killed over 70 women. His crimes went unsolved for years, making him one of the most elusive murderers in U.S. history. Early life and background. Gary Leon Ridgway was born on February 18, 1949, in Salt Lake City, Utah. He grew up in a troubled household in Seattle, Washington, with a dominating mother and an often absent father. Ridgway's childhood was marked by dysfunctional family dynamics. His mother reportedly humiliated him, and his father frequently spoke negatively about sex workers. From an early age, Ridgway exhibited troubling behavior. He struggled academically, had below-average intelligence, and was known for violent outbursts. At the age of 16, he allegedly stabbed a 6-year-old boy, nearly killing him. The boy survived, but this disturbing act hinted at Ridgway's violent future. After high school, he joined the U.S. Navy and was deployed to Vietnam. During his service, he contracted sexually transmitted diseases (STDs) due to frequent visits to sex workers, which further fueled his hatred toward women. Upon returning from the Navy, Ridgway married 3 times and had a son. His marriages were marked by infidelity and abuse, and he frequently sought out sex workers, both for personal gratification and, later, for his crimes. The Green River murders begin. Ridgway's killing spree started in 1982, when women, mostly sex workers and runaways, began disappearing from Seattle and Tacoma, Washington. His victims were strangled to death and often dumped in remote wooded areas or near the Green River, which led to the name, Green River Killer. The first known victims were found in July 1982, when 3 bodies were discovered in or near the river. Over the next few months, more remains surfaced, and the police realized they were dealing with a serial killer. Ridgway had a specific pattern. He targeted young women, mostly sex workers or runaways. He gained their trust, often offering them a ride or pretending to be a client. He strangled them, either manually or with a ligature like shoelaces or belts. He sometimes engaged in necrophilia, returning to the crime scenes to sexually assault the corpses. He dumped bodies in clusters, sometimes posing them in strange positions. Despite leaving behind bodies and potential evidence, Ridgway managed to evade capture for years. The long hunt for the killer. The Green River Task Force was formed in 1984 to track the killer. The investigation initially focused on known sex offenders, including Ridgway, who had been arrested multiple times for soliciting sex workers. However, due to a lack of forensic evidence, he was never formally charged. In 1987, investigators took a DNA sample from Ridgway but lacked the technology to analyze it at the time. The case went cold for over a decade as Ridgway continued his double life, working as a truck painter, attending church, and maintaining relationships. Breakthrough in the case, DNA evidence. In 2001, advancements in DNA technology allowed investigators to retest the samples collected from Ridgway years earlier. The results matched semen found on several victims, conclusively linking him to the crimes. On November 30, 2001, Ridgway was arrested outside his workplace in Renton, Washington. Initially, he denied involvement, but when confronted with the DNA evidence, he confessed to multiple murders. Confession and trial. In 2003, Ridgway accepted a plea bargain to avoid the death penalty. In exchange for his cooperation, he was sentenced to life in prison without parole. During his confession, he admitted to killing at least 71 women, but due to lack of evidence, he was only convicted for 49 murders, making him the most prolific serial killer in U.S. history by confirmed victim count. In his statements, Ridgway showed no remorse, often referring to his victims as less than human, and expressing satisfaction at deceiving the police for years. Life in prison and legacy. Ridgway remains incarcerated at Washington State Penitentiary. Even after his conviction, authorities believe there are more victims who were never found. His case remains one of the most chilling in criminal history, serving as a grim reminder of how serial killers can blend into society. Conclusion. Gary Ridgway's ability to live a normal life while committing horrific murders baffled investigators and the public alike. His story is a stark example of how serial killers can evade justice for years, despite repeated police investigations. The Green River Killer case led to significant improvements in forensic technology, especially in DNA analysis, which has since helped solve many cold cases. Today, Ridgway remains behind bars, but the impact of his crimes still haunts the families of his victims and the law enforcement agencies that pursued him for nearly 2 decades.